So tomorrow we actually have the official beta coming out for Dragon Ball Fusion World. And I don't know about you, but it seems pretty exciting. I actually have a wish list of the things that I want to see in the game, and hopefully, that's going to be teased in this next week. I want to make this video now so that way I can temper expectations and then maybe just make a video right after the beta so that way I can give my first impressions. Of course, it is a little bit of an annoyance that we switched from the very fun first beta that featured all of the Master stuff, and now we're switching over to Fusion World that features all of, well, Fusion World. It's gonna be a little bit more simpler. It's gonna be a little bit more slower paced, even though the other beta had only a couple of sets, but I think this is gonna be pretty fun. Which kind of leads me to the first wish, which is a ranked system. If you played any Dragon Ball game in the past, I've played a lot of them. Raging Blast, I played Burst Limit, I've played a few other off-brand Dragon Ball type of deals as well, and pretty much all of them, if they had it online, had a rank system. Although it was a little weird, with their Zenny system slash like ranking system. Sometimes they had like a letter. Sometimes in fighters, of course you may know, they have BP, and as well as like this little square thing for your elo. And I might be a little off basis on that, but I would imagine that they will have something like that. We're gonna have some sort of power level or battle power in this game, so that way they can indicate elo and as well as rank. Now, if they don't, then what's the point of playing? Sure, you might be able to play with your friends, 1v1, that type of thing, maybe a quick play. But if there isn't some sort of, skill-based matchmaking, so that way you're playing against someone who's not brand new, and just like beating their ass with like an Android deck versus their starter deck or something like that, then it might be a problem. Now, the next wish is similar to Pokemon, and I've talked about this wish quite a lot, like even back in the last year's nationals in 2023 nationals, I talked about it, where I really wanted codes. I really wanted codes to scan on the physical pack so that way you can redeem it in the game. Now, I don't think this has been like officially confirmed. I think there's some talks and maybe some posts here and there as far as that goes, but we generally don't know. We won't know until February, which is about a month from now. And honestly, I think what they're going to do is probably do what they're doing right now with gems in order to pay for packs. And maybe you can get, like a random card, or maybe a random pack, like a pack of uncommon commons, or maybe even rares. I don't know. Of course, in Pokemon, which again, I don't play it, so correct me if I'm wrong, I know that booster packs will give you a booster pack in Pokemon, and like with starter decks or theme packs, whatever they have, it's kind of the same thing. You just get a different variation of that same set, which I would imagine that, the digital version will still have the current sets. So I think in March, if they're shooting for spring, it's probably gonna be like March, April type thing. I think that at that point we should be in set 2 or just gonna be in set 2. So if I had to take a guess, we're probably gonna get the digital client the same time we get set 2 for the physical game. And if that's the case, then it'd be a perfect time to start getting those codes ready and start getting those things scanned in for either gems or packs. Which leads me to the next point, which is hopefully this is going to be free to play friendly. If you played any other gacha, and I come from Dokkan, I haven't played it, I haven't touched it in so long, but of course you need gold in that. You need X something in these other games in order to get things as far as packs and maybe cards or alt arts, which we'll talk about later. But really, free to play friendly really just means that if you boot up the game and you spend maybe a week on it, like grinding or doing something, you're gonna get something out of it and enjoy your experience. Now, the thing is that, with free to play, it doesn't necessarily mean that you never will pay or there's no point of paying for things. There's a fine balance that, hey, maybe the person who wants to play will be able to play or make 1 or 2 decks. We've seen that in Master Duel. Or if there are alternate arts or things and extras and things like that, then those gems and the things that you pay for will be good enough to, get those things. Like, it is like cosmetic. But I just hope that, we have a pretty decent barrier of entry. That's the biggest point that I'm making. This is supposed to be the game that you want to transition to Masters, but you won't even get there if you don't enjoy the digital experience first. And honestly, that's gonna be a tough ask, and you want to be as friendly as possible if I was Bandai. Now, the next point is a pretty simple and quick one, which I don't think they're gonna do, but to incentivize in-person tournament play. What I mean by that is that if you do something in the game or get like a rank or whatever, then you'll be eligible for in-person prizing, as in, like, let's say you get to a certain rank, you take it to like a Masters or a Fusion World in-person event, and then you get to redeem something like an alt art or a promo card or something like that. It doesn't even have to be anything too crazy, but start incentivizing and synergizing the two things so that way one of them doesn't die off. Pretty simple concept, but it's gonna be easy to miss if they don't do it. Next, in correlation to that, is to don't do any Fusion webcam tournaments. This should be pretty self-explanatory, right? You made a digital client, you probably spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to develop it. It took forever to do it, and if it's simple to do and you have a tournament bracket, and I guess that's part of the wish list, right, and you have the 1v1 system, don't do webcam ever for Fusion World. Okay, just don't ever do it. Just stick to the digital client, have official events, just do the thing, man. Don't just lean right into it. Don't do these webcams, please. Next up is different formats. And what I mean by that is, it could be maybe a certain a number of sets that you can only play. Obviously, we only have 1 or 2 sets in the first parts of the game when it first comes out, right? But you can still have something like King of the Hill, join up. You have 10 people playing, or 5 people playing, 3 people playing, whatever you want, and then do King of the Hill. And then you can do like badges. You can get a badge for winning King of the Hill for X amount of times or whatever it may be. You can do 3v3. If the programming is there, you can do 3v3, and I think this game probably rewards that, even if it's like a free-for-all. It doesn't have to be 3 person by 3 person. It can be 3 people with a free-for-all. I don't know how that works, but it'll be something. Could be a draft mode, it could be, hey, if you have unopened packs and it's of this set, go ahead and get into this queue or do it with your friends or whatever it may be, and then open some packs and play against each other. That'd be sick. All right, enough of that. Story mode. So again, wishful thinking, very wishful thinking. I don't know how they would do a story mode, but honestly, we have we've been previewed so many of these like 3D animations, and I think it would be such a waste, such a waste to not be able to use that in a creative way. And what I mean by that is that, I mean, dude, just like make up a story, like, dude, we have so many things in this universe for Masters. Just bring some of that stuff in the set or in the first 2 sets, just make a story mode in which, like, oh, Goku wants to create his own tournament because he is bored of not being able to fight anybody in the peacetime during the Buu Saga or before the Buu Saga, right? And now he that's the story mode. Now he's doing the tournament, you're going through the whole thing, and you can get gems out of it. I don't know, man. I'm not a story director. You don't hire me for that. I do production stuff, okay? Anyway, it would be pretty cool. It'd be nice to stream too, and to record videos. People, be able to actually make content on it. That'd be stellar. This is more of a technical thing, but a replay feature. I know this is pretty basic, but honestly, some games miss this, where we're not able to go back to our previous games, match history, maybe even taking a look at the deck that we went against, right? I really want to see something where we can export decks of our own, and as well as the opponent, so that way we can copy that over, put it in our deck builder, and then go from there. Be like, dang, I got busted out. I got my ass beat by an X deck, and I want to try that out. I want to be able to go into my match history, do that, see the game, see what they did as far as their lines of play, and then export it and play it out. So I mean, that's going to be a big thing, and hopefully we'll have that in the future. I don't think that's going to be like a replay system. I don't think that's going to be like immediately available, but I could be wrong. But I do think match history and being able to take your opponent's deck and go through it, sort of like Master Duel, which I don't think Master Duel does. I think they do. They do have a replay system, but I don't think they have the whole thing that I'm talking about for exporting. And the last couple things is a friends list, something that some games just miss out on. As we understand, it's going to be its own client, so it doesn't really tie into Steam or any of these other like things like Battle.net. It's gonna be tough to keep track of people, and I really don't want to be in a place where we have to do like a a match number or like a code or something like that, and I have to give you the code, and then you have to join it, stuff like that. That's very low effort, and I feel like, you know, a friends list or something to tie everything in to, and which by the way, again, I'm not a game designer, I'm not like a marketing director or anything like that, but it is very advantageous to keep a friends list and to, you know, send a friend request or to add people and bring people on. It's very much easier to do that, so that way they're on the game and playing more often. That's okay. Anyway, friends list would be sick. Please don't make me work too hard to find my friend. And lastly, I'm off of it now. Okay, I seeked help. But I played Marvel Snap for quite a lot and quite a lot for quite a lot and quite a lot. And if you knew me or if you hung around with me, at a certain point I was probably playing Marvel Snap, and I still like the game a lot. It's a little mid right now, but a little boring, but that's what happened with the games. And I think one of the things that they've done really well is to gain, you know, like a lot of a art pool from the IP from Marvel, right? A lot of the comic book alternate arts are animated. They're you know, striking art. They're references. They're comic book covers, you know, that type of thing. And that would be sick in the digital version, where you Bandai, you are the licensor. You are the people able to grab the randomest things out of you know, different kinds of arts, where you can put that as a digital thing. Maybe you can't print it, you don't have the permission to print it as a physical card. Sure, then do it digitally. That costs you nothing. That costs you nothing outside of getting the permission to do it. So like animated, awesome alternate arts, that's really what I really want to see. And obviously in any digital game, one of the biggest things is to show off your collection, and it's no different, right? Trading card games, physical, same thing. But in a digital card game, if you are rainbowed out in Dokkan, like, dude, you are like, come on, like, this is the same thing. It's the same thing. I hope that we will have that, and that we're not catering only to the competitive. I want brackets, I want a rank system, I want everything as far as that goes. But I really do want this to be a full-fledged system, that we have things comparative to other digital card games, especially if they want to start competing with them. Anyway, that is my wish list. I put some thought into it. I've been thinking about it for a while. I'm very happy and very excited to start playing this week as far as a digital card game, or the digital version, and I'll only be able to play a couple days because I am going to be traveling for Card Fest, working production and helping out the event and stuff like that. So hey, let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe if you are new. Am I off basis? Did I miss anything? Is there anything that's unreasonable that I asked for? Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.